through Rabbi Kramer, right at the 1940, I think it was 1942, Rabbi Greenglass was the first one to get a passport to go to New York. So Rabbi Kramer told Rabbi Greenglass, he says, I'm going to send my two uncles and me, and I'm going to send my uncle Isaac Dalfen and Morris Dalfen. And I'm going to send them to New York. The women are going to go to a hotel, their wives, and Arnold, myself, and Izzy and Morris, you arrange for them a place to sleep in Crown Heights, and arrange that they should be able to go see the Friedricher Rebbe. And they should be invited up for the Tish, Achron Shal Pesach. So we get to New York, and we were greeted, and we were given, I still don't remember who we went to, but we went to a home where they fed us, and we stayed there. And then they said, they told us, eat at your host's house, and then come back. And when you come back, you'll go upstairs where the Friedricher Rebbe was having a tish for Pesach. And we come back, and I guess you all know there was a stairway going up in 770 where the Friedricher Rebbe lived. And you couldn't get up. All the Hasidim were lying on the floor, on the steps. They were all lying on the steps, and we couldn't, it was impossible. We said, look, we have an appointment. We were told to come. Nobody moved, nobody budged. Till finally, the door opened upstairs, because they saw we weren't coming up. So the door opened upstairs. I don't know who it was, but they yelled down, let the Dolphins come up. So it was like Kriyas Yamsuf. They all moved aside, and we were able to go up the steps. One of the chassid grabbed my uncle's jacket, tried to go up with him, and he tore his jacket completely. Anyway, I don't have to tell you what it was to go into that dining room. I was 14. It was just unbelievable to see the tish, the way it was set up. The Friedricher Rebbe was sitting on the left side. Rabbi Gari was sitting on the right side. His son was right next to him. And the only ones who were serving was the Rebbitzins and the two Rebbitzins, Rabbi Gari's wife and the Rebbe's wife. They were the ones serving the whole table. There must have been around 20, 25 of them there. The Rebbe would talk. You could see the Shechina come from his face. It was unbelievable. Unfortunately, I couldn't understand a word he said, but you felt because he had an impediment in his speech, but you felt what went on in that room. You felt it when they made a niggin. It was unbelievable. The way they ate, they waited till the Rebbe took a few sips. You could hear a pin drop. Not one word was said. And then they'd all eat together, and then when they finished, the Rebbe would motion to a Bal Menagan to sing something, and they would sing. He would give another discourse. It was unbelievable. And in the end, we got in for Yechidus. And Rabbi Greenglass brought each of us in for Yechidus. I remember as soon as we walked out from Yechidus, right away Rabbi Greenglass went. They had a Jewish typewriter in the office, and he typed out what the Rebbe told me. It disintegrated. It was a piece of paper. I kept it in my wallet for years and years and years and years, and then it disintegrated. I remember what he said, though. He says, "Lernen kennen, no willen lernen." And it was. I was very good at that time in the yeshiva. I remember I came back to Montreal when we came back, and I was a whole hero in the yeshiva. I walked into the yeshiva and everybody kept coming over to me and giving me a shakoyach, and you saw the Rebbe and you had your chibis with the Rebbe and the Rebbe spoke to you. They couldn't get over it. Boy, I was a star. Many years later, I was talking with Rabbi Kramer, and I was reminiscing. I says, do you remember when you sent me down with my uncles and we went to see the Achron Shal Pesach at the Rebbe? He says, I'm going to tell you a story now, he says. I also went down, and the Frierdiker Rebbe was still alive, and I wanted to go for the Tish. So he says, I was very friendly then, he says, with the Rebbe. So the Rebbe said, and at that time the Frierdiker Rebbe was very ill, so they didn't allow too many people upstairs, I guess. So he says, the Rebbe said to Rabbi Kramer, you know what, he says, hang around the door, and I'm going to tell the Rebbe that we're short a man for $1 million. And I'm going to tell him, I think Rabbi Kramer is downstairs, and I'm going to get you, and you'll come up. And he says, that's exactly what happened. And he says, but right after that was the last time that he treated the Rebbe like as, like a pal. But after that, the Rebbe took on as Rebbe, so their companionship changed after that.